So yesterday I got a 582 3x3 average of 5, which was a PB by a lot. It was my second ever sub 6 average of 5, first ever sub 6 average of 5 on stackmat, and it was my first ever 5.8 average of 5. And the other really cool thing, like I said, it was all stackmat, all legit, and every single solve was full step, which means that there's some really cool insight in the moves and stuff that I did to show you what makes the difference in my solves between really good times and not so good times. So let's get into the scrambles. I'll show you the reconstructions. So this was the first scramble, and I got a 558 on it, which was my best time in the average. So I solve on white and yellow. White is pretty nice, but I ended up going with yellow. So we've got these two already on their opposites, this one move away, and this piece. And then there's two other key things I noticed. I noticed this pair, which looks like it would be an easy first pair into the back right, but there's also this free pair, which I wanted to preserve if I could. So I knew I'm going to do R to solve this. That's going to move this edge to right here. But I've got to solve this. So what I figured out is that if I do R, D, R prime, I'm really close to solving this, and that just moves this edge back to where it started. So when I line everything up and do B prime to connect or to solve the cross, I've connected my pair. Now when I keep that in mind with the context of this pair, I know that I could do that and then have a pair, but that's a little bit awkward with execution going into that. But if I insert like that, that sets me up with a much better pair right here. At some point in this whole sequence, I noticed this pair, and instinctively I know that solving this pair will connect this one, which meant I could really quickly cube rotate and insert that, and then it was easy to look ahead into this one for a very easy F2L. That's the power of planning multiple pairs in inspection, is it gives you really easy solves like that when it works well. Then lefty fat soon into a J-perm. So that solve was 52 moves, and at a 558, that was 9.31 turns per second. Here is the second scramble. This one I got a 601 on, and once again, although white looks pretty good, I ended up choosing yellow because once again we have two edges already on opposites, one that's one move away and another that's two moves away. The other key thing to notice here is this block, which when I solve this edge will solve this whole block, and that is a recipe for an X cross. The edge is right here for that pair, so if I just do that, that's not in a very good position for an X cross. But what I can do instead, I manipulated things a little bit, U prime, F, so I still make the block. Instead, I'm going to insert this edge back here by doing that, which did insert this edge into its spot, which means I can line it up and then I have my X cross. While I was doing all that, I was keeping an eye on this pair, which just ends up right here. So I have my X cross, and then I can go straight into this pair. While I did that, I saw this edge in the front slot already. This corner goes into the front slot. So I already have my third pair picked out, and then an easy last pair onto OLL, and then another J-perm. That was a 601 in 52 moves, which is 8.65 turns per second. So this next one, the third solve, was my slowest solve in the average at 796. And the problem with that is that it's too normal. So with the other solves, which were 5s and really low 6s, there's one specific way to solve that scramble that makes sense for how I would do it that fast. Meanwhile, there's probably like 10 different solutions I could do on a scramble like this and get a 796. And unfortunately, I don't remember which one I did. I remember how I solved cross, so I have these two already lined up across from each other, this edge this edge, and this pair. So I did U2, R2 to solve these three, move this pair, solve that, and then I solve that pair. I vaguely remember trying to track this and getting messed up because it wasn't a very good pair. Something like that. I don't exactly remember what happened there, but somehow that's how my solve started, and it ended up with me getting a 796. All right, now we are on to solve 4, which was a 559. This time, yellow is definitely the right choice because we've got this, 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 and this, and in 3 moves we can solve these 3 cross edges like that, but I also wanted to preserve this pair. I've got a 1-move block right here, and so I took advantage of that in a really nice way. So I made the block, solved orange and red, which also moves the block out of the way. So I can move down green right here, line up these two, and solve everything. So that's how I built my X cross there. That leads me into this pair, which is easy. Another easy pair. Once again, an easy pair. So 3 easy pairs right there into a fat soon, and then an H-perm. So just an easy solve there. The X-cross was kind of smart, and then just easy pairs, a little bit more simple than the other solves. That one was a little bit shorter too at 50 moves, and at 5.59 seconds, that gives me 8.94 turns per second. And now we are on the last one where I got a 585, and this is probably my favorite solution out of all of them. So yellow could work, but white, we already have 2 completely solved edges, and our last 2 are right here, and we've got this pair. So we could do something like that, obviously, but that messes up the pair, and I really want to preserve that. The other thing I noticed is we're 1 move away from a pair right here. So I was really happy when I found this. I just do like that, connect the pair, have the pair right here. If I do that kind of insert or something, that pair is not as good. I know it's not meta, I know it's not cool anymore, but what preserves this pair better is inserting like that, and then I can go straight into this pair. Easy pair that connects this next pair soon into a T-perm. And that gave me a 585 in 51 moves, which is 8.71 turns per second. So there are a few conclusions you can come to because of this average. The key thing is, although these were good scrambles, there were no skips, which means there's a whole lot more luck that I could get, which means I probably could do better if I keep up equal skill on luckier solves. But also, so I'm a decent solver, I'm pretty efficient, I'm not a super genius kind of solver. So where I can make or break my solves is by being as smart as I can with my cross plus 1 or with X crosses or things like that. And that's what I really excelled at in this average, is on 3 or 4 of the scrambles, in my opinion, I did what were really smart solutions that probably weren't super intuitive in order to preserve free pairs or build X crosses or something like that. And honestly, I'm very proud of myself for doing that. It feels really great to get an average like this, especially on stackmat. I don't know if I'll be beating it anytime soon. I sure hope so. So thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. I'll see you guys later, and I hope you have a great day. This is Brody, signing out.